Have you ever wondered how much cars have improved over the last 30 years or so? Well, let's take a trip back to 1987. In 1987, the BMW M5 was the fastest sedan in the world. And the Porsche 944 Turbo had a top speed of over 160 miles an hour. And what about this 1987 Porsche 911, Tommy?
Well, it was blue. Where is your 80s spirit? I look like a goober. I went all out on my 80s gear. You said you would too, and you don't look retro.
Well, I lived through it. But here's the fun part about this video, Tommy. Nathan said he brought a BMW.
Oh boy, here he comes. All right, Nathan, let's see what you brought. Well, it's okay.
Well, it's not a BMW.
Not really a BMW.
Yeah, he said he brought a BMW that is quicker than all of these 1987 vehicles.
I bring you German power. Actually, the lesser of German power. This has a 2-liter, which is sort of like the baby Supra, but because it's a Supra, it's German now.
All right. So what we're going to prove today, or what Nathan is going to try to prove today, is that the slowest Supra you can buy is still faster than these 1980s icons.
All right, so we got to drag race them. So what's the order, Tommy?
Well, I think we got to find out which 87 is the quickest. So we're going to do, let's do 911 versus 944, and then the winner will take on the Beamer, and then the winner of that will take on the other Beamer, Toyota. Well, we're now 30 seconds into the video, and my dad has already lied to you about what this car is because it's not a real M5. This is a model called an M535. They never sold it here in the States. This one came out of Japan, and this one has about 182 horsepower, 214 pound-feet of torque.
Hold your horses here, Gungadin. I said the M5 was the fastest sedan in the world when it came out. I didn't say this M5.
Well, that's kind of pointless to be talking about cars that aren't here. The Ram TRX has 702 horsepower. It's not here, but it has it.
If you head over to TFL Classics, we're working on making this into an M5. Just stay tuned.
Now this is actually a really cool thing because both of these 87 Porsches have the same horsepower, 217, but of course very different engines. The 944 Turbo has a 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder water-cooled turbocharged. It also makes 243 pound-feet of torque. Now of course the 911 is very, very different because under the hood of the 911 you'll find a nice collection of mouse turds. Let's be honest, this isn't the nicest 911 out there, but out back you'll find a 3.2 liter flat 6, 217 horsepower, air-cooled, but only 195 pound-feet of torque. So my dad's gonna need some miracles in this car to beat that 944 Turbo because we're at altitude. Of course, it has the traction advantage, it has the weight advantage. I don't know, it'll be pretty cool. All right, let's see what Nathan's BMW Supra has under the hood.
It's really important to note the fact that even though it's a Supra, it has a BMW engine, which is a good thing because it puts out 255 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque, hooked up to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, which means I won't have to shift like these guys. There is a problem. Aside from my weight, this one is probably a lot heavier than theirs. Well, it's 3,200 pounds, give or take. So yeah, the weight might play against it, but the turbo, the power, that transmission, I'm gonna whoop them. Roman, if the Supra were a band, what band would it be?
No question, BTS.
What's a BTS?
Well, it's a Korean boy band.
Okay, and why would this be that?
Because you gotta be short, thin, and young to actually fit behind the steering wheel. And how about the other cars, Nathan?
That's a good question. Welcome, if you will, the Ted Nugent or Eric Clapton of the age. That is exactly what the 911 is, especially this particular year. It's got a lot of add-ons, a lot of showy stuff. Still, it has some athletic or plain ability, and it can be considered obnoxious by some. Bet you guys didn't know that the Beastie Boys could be a car. Indeed, this is it. One of the best Porsches in my mind ever, the 944. If you're gonna rock the city, you're gonna do it in this, and you're gonna be playing the Beastie Boys. Now we have a little bit of The Cure, a little bit of Depeche Mode, a little bit of Duran Duran. And apparently a lot of 80s going on with Tommy. You're rocking that outfit.
Thank you, sir. Who was that band that did 99 Luftballons? Was it like Nina?
Yep, that was Nina, and it was just Nina. That was just her. And yeah, that was kind of Germanish, I guess you could say that. But personally speaking, I think a little bit more Bauhaus goes into this. All of these we have to explain to your father in writing.
That had a very regal sounding horn in the 911.
I might be down one horn, Tommy.
I don't know, I kind of like it though. It makes a cool sound.
So back in 87, you know, this 911 would have been probably twice the cost of your 944 Turbo there.
And keep in mind, that is the base 911 too. There was also a Turbo, and then of course you had the 928, which was also incredibly expensive. Now this was the fastest 944 available. It's called the 951 model. And I'm curious if the fastest 944 will beat out the 911.
Yeah, people might think this is a 930, but it's not. The 930 was a turbo. I do not have a turbo.
I know, but we couldn't afford a turbo. And we also can't afford to break these cars, because this video is going to make like $89, and a clutch on a 944 Turbo is like $3 grand.
You know, anything on this car is like $3 grand. That's the problem.
All right, well, I think that this should be pretty rad, so I'm going to, you know, try to keep this car alive, but also definitely try to beat you.
Oh yeah, and don't forget to put it in sport mode.
Why is your car smoking right now?
I don't know. It's an old car with 100,000 miles on it. It smokes.
Come on, Porsche. Oh, kind of a bad launch. Oh, he's beating me.
Oh, I got ahead of him. It's close.
But there goes the turbo in the second. And there goes the turbo again. That is some tubular performance in the third.
Come on, go!
And across the line. That was not very fast. 17.48 seconds in the quarter.
I almost had you, Tommy. That turbo took a little bit to get going.
Yeah, nothing happens until like 4,500 RPM.
Yeah, nothing happens here till about 4,000 RPM too. But then the naturally aspirated motor actually took off a little bit better. You know, the weight transfer is much better in this car for drag racing, right? You got all that weight on the rear wheels.
So what was your time?
So trap speed, 83. How about you?
91.4.
Quarter mile time, 18.25.
17.48. This 944 smoked it. And I think we also smoked out the videographers a little bit. Yeah.
All right, well, the 944 is champ, but I'm gonna jump in the BMW and see if I can't dethrone you.
All right, let's give it a go.
You know, Tommy, it's not fair that you have a turbocharger.
Yeah, at like 6,000 feet above sea level where we're at, it's making a pretty big difference, I think.
And you know, a lot of people out there are gonna be like, well, you guys are a mile above sea level, that's not fair. But you know what? All you sea level people, there's a lot of people that live above sea level. It's just a fact. Much of the world lives above sea level.
And let's be honest, these cars wouldn't make the drive to sea level. They'd probably break, so it'd probably make the drive here.
All right, well, I'm gonna give this BMW all the beans that it's got. Hopefully I can take off ahead of you while you're still struggling with that turbo, and then get far enough ahead so that you can't catch up before the finish.
Well, the other tricky part too is that this is a 50-50 weight distribution with this transaxle, but it's really hard to launch.
Wah, wah, wah. All right, let's do this, dude. BMW straight 6 versus Turbo 4.
All right, here we go. All right, come on, car. There goes the 5 Series. Come on, Turbo.
Still have to jump on him. Come on, BMW. I'm staying ahead.
Where's the Turbo? Go!
He can't catch up. I don't think he's going to catch up. It's going to be close. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What happened, dude? You never had a chance.
I don't know, but the turbo didn't kick in. We only were making 1 bar of pressure. Typically it's 2, so we only had like 15 PSI. I don't know, maybe if it was getting hot, but that was 18.9 seconds in the quarter. So, yeah, that was no good.
You think it's heat soaking?
I think it might be. It's pretty hot out here. And these were pretty basic turbo setups compared to modern day.
So I was at 79, trav speed 18.36, 18.36.
Yeah, I was 18.96 at 82.
Wow. So I guess I get to take on Nathan.
Ugh, that's so frustrating. I got 1 good run in this 944 and now it's detuning me.
All right, so it's BMW against BMW-ish.
A big thank you to Firestone for these Firehawk Indy 500s on this car. It's kind of getting tricky to find tires in these weird old car sizes, and Firestone came through this 944 Turbo. Oh, and good news, we let it cool down, and now it's back up to turbo pressure, so I don't think we broke it.
Nathan, do you read me?
Loud and clear.
How appropriate, 2 BMW-powered vehicles going against each other 3 decades apart.
Yeah, and as superior as mine is, I think you're more comfortable in yours.
I'm definitely more comfortable in mine.
It's really cramped in here.
All right, well, I'm curious, Nathan, what's your best guess in terms of, the decade difference?
Oh, in terms of performance? I'm gonna probably be about 2 seconds ahead of you in every way, shape, and form.
All right, let's find out. Only one way to do this, and that is to put the cars on the racetrack. Let's go for it. Oh, he took off. Come on. He's gone. He is so gone.
It's a question of being able to rev at just the right amount so you don't bog it. Because you don't want to bog, right? Oh, I forgot I'm racing Roman. 2 seconds? Like 6.
All right, Nathan. I went 79 miles an hour, 18.90. How about you?
98.3 miles per hour, 14.62. I'm sorry, can you repeat those numbers again that you said? That was really bad.
79 miles an hour, 18.9. So you were almost 5 seconds quicker than me.
I thought you had a flat or something.
I think what I want to do is I want to race Tommy one more time. I'm going to give him the 911. That should be a really good race, this BMW against the 911. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that might be an interesting race. I think people want to see it. Inquiring minds want to know, which is very 80s, by the way.
All right, one last race. I'll get Tommy in the 911 and we'll do one more.
All right, Dad, I'm going to deploy my secret weapon.
I'm deploying mine. I'm almost out of gas.
Oh yes. It's gonna make it faster.
You took the top down, huh?
Yeah, it adds downforce to the back.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm almost out of gas, so we better make this quick. But that means less weight, Tommy.
All right, I've already broken one Porsche. Let's see if I can do this without breaking the next one. Come on, Porsche. That was a pretty good launch. 5,000 RPM, 6 in a second. Oh, it's a good race. Look at the power. Getting a little wobbly at 85 miles an hour.
Congratulations, Tommy. What was your time?
17.95, and that was at 83 miles an hour.
I was 18.85 at 79 miles an hour.
All right, that was a lot of fun. That was a good race.
Yeah, deploying your top certainly, didn't hurt. So let's wrap this up. Let's go find Nathan and then talk about the differences. So in case you guys are wondering, the BMW cost us around $18,000. Same thing for the 944 Turbo. The 911, that was a little bit more expensive. That was like $35,000, but we were probably 15 into it, so it's a $50,000 car. And Nathan, the Supra is about $47,000 or $50,000. But the one thing that I'm left with is just how remarkably similar the three classics are in terms of their performance, and just how remarkably analog they are.
They are, very much so, whereas it's a very digital car with the Supra, and it's a whole different world now.
Absolutely, but for me, I think my favorite is still the 944 Turbo. We got one really good run out of it, and then it got a little hot, and then I got another good run out of it off camera. But yeah, I mean, it's an 80s turbo car. But what would you choose, Nathan, of the four of them?
I can't say a Corvette, can I? No, the 944. I really like the 944. I've always liked the 944. It's my second favorite Porsche.
I'd pick the 5 Series.
Oh, for crying out loud.
I think once we engine swap it and make ourselves an M5, it's going to be up to that Supra. We're going to have to continue this video like 3 years from now, because that's how long it's going to take. Well, there you guys have it. A little fun with classics, and yeah, 30 years makes a lot of difference, Nathan.
In so many ways.
All right, we'll see you guys on the next TFL car video. Bye.